I had a dream on July 31st, 2004. Within it was a very strong presence of death and his partnership with me. I was in a large house with lots of people. I had taken a call from a stranger who wanted to date me. I told him to come on over and we could meet. I wandered around the house, taking in bizarre scenes from each room. The man from the phone arrived. I caught a psychic glimpse of his foot. He was a skeleton. I was freaked out and afraid. I tried to warp the skeleton man into a member of the band The Misfits because they looked like skeletons, and that would not be so frightening to me. I could not impose the new image for long before he returned to his original form. It was death, and he was coming for me. I tried hiding, but I could tell he was frightening the others to get to me. I went to confront him and was immediately under his spell. He said he hoped I was not too afraid. I said I was prepared in some way. I really liked the grim character on the Billy and Mandy cartoon. He showed me he could change his form to any flesh he wanted. Next, I was in a dark bedroom. Death was lying on the bed. I was glad that Death had put flesh on for me. I began to fear that I was controlled by Death. So to test my boundaries, I walked out into the front lawn. The other people who lived in the house were assembled on the front lawn. Some had gotten in the way of Death and died from fright. There was a large black and white pictorial map sprawled out over the front lawn, with people standing in the different parts of the map. One woman told me to pick a place in the map and stand in that spot. I stood in the drawing of a park in the city map. The style and layout reminded me of London or New Orleans. The lady told me choosing the park was choosing to go right back to death. I saw a drawing near the side of the map of a black man, a great lawyer or statesman. The building above him looked like a large, fancy government building. The woman told me I had to be able to tell Death about the square that I was in, about the man that I'd seen, the great statesman, or the building, or I would go back to Death. Now, of course, this was before I'd ever heard the name Barack Obama. So I couldn't tell Death because I didn't know yet. I ended up back in the house. Death said we were going to leave. I was preparing myself. Death said we needed to get a wound on my head checked out. I had no idea what he was talking about, so I looked in the mirror. I saw some blood on the left side of my head, but my bangs were covering most of the wound. I looked into my eyes and I saw I had dried tears of blood on my cheeks. I shouted over to Death that I had cried tears of blood. I thought the tears of blood were a holy, like a stigmata. Death did not explain why this happened to me. The next thing I know, Death and I are in a community by a pond. We are in an elderly couple's home. I can see the pond and the black and white ducks from their porch window. I got the feeling that this was just a rest stop and we would soon be on our way again. I felt grateful to Death for guiding me, and trepidation because Death was in complete control of the journey. And that was the end of the dream. The Death card in the tarot translates to getting out of old patterns and worn out ways. The predicted change from the dream, it did come. I felt it formulate within and then manifest without. My life quickly changed from social, engaging in a romantic relationship and family obligations, to very quiet and very alone.